Episode 30 of Season 5. That means we are just over, well, just around halfway through the new the Season 5. We'll hit midpoint, I guess, at, we'll end at episode 69 in this season, so we're about 3 episodes away from the midpoint, I guess. 4 episodes? 4.5 episodes. Anyway, in today's show, we've got 4 papers. It's the Mail, the Times, the Sun, and the Guardian. We will be starting with the Sun, which I need to stick into the paper window here. This is last week's. And then we will move on to the Guardian for the speed round. Then the Times, then the Daily Mail, which we tend to end with for structural reasons, and also because it is the most cursed paper that we cover regularly. Hey, C122, H122, how are you doing? Good to see you. I did not sleep that well yesterday due to child-based waking me up, so I am now quite unhinged again. So that could be very good for the show or awful. Let's see what happens. Difficult to say, isn't it? Oh, and once again, coding overloaded. Why? God knows. Hello, Gonzo Socialism. How are you doing? Thank you for joining Twitch, and thank you for watching the show. It's much appreciated. Expect I'm going to get a delay today, which is just whatever. I could do without it, to be honest. Dan Jones 3142, wondering why you were tweeting at 1:45 in the morning. Yes, well, that was because I got woken up and then stayed woken up for some time. Good afternoon, Mark Canosis. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Right, we're going to start with the Sun. Why? Because, we must. Top right-hand corner, Russia stole jab formula. This coming straight in. This coming in from security service sources. Of course, printed, just regurgitated by the Sun, as you would expect. Main story, front page story here. Champion of the world, Fury parties after epic fight. He could beat anyone in history. Right, I wish to see a time machine built only for the purpose of sending Tyson Fury back in time to take on champions of various places and time frames. Hey, from the Business Factory. Hello, SK the Crusader. C122, H122. When are we bombing Russia? I nearly quoted the Reagan thing there, but I'm not going to. End green tax, it says on page 2. That's what Sunak, Kwarteng are at war over. Alpacas guard their turkey pals and keep them safe from predators until Christmas. Woolly herd deters foxes. Do not tell Keith this. He will not be happy. User Weapon says, I could beat Tyson Fury easily. Just shoot him with a gun. Why does no one do that? Yes, on page 3, there isn't page 3, but it's page 3. Tamara Franceschioni, it's just a picture of her in a bikini and a net top thing. This, when the Sun says, oh, we don't have page 3 anymore. Absolutely 100%. I can't show you this picture because nipple is showing through the netting. It would be a terms of service fail. Adele went on to Instagram Live. She has given up booze to preserve her voice long ahead of her long-awaited comeback. It said she likes Aperol Spritz, but she's not been drinking because she's trying to keep her voice good, apparently. Warning, later in this issue, there is a feature about sex dreams. So there is your warning. On pages 4 and 5... Viva Bash Vegas is the headline on Fury partying in Vegas. Did he take his top off? Yes, he did. There's a recipe for shepherd's pie in the Sun. And I think they've done a thing where it pretends like someone's cut it out. Yeah. It's Halu Green. Supermarket launches first spooky eco outfits is the claim. That's Morrison's, of course. It's just a press release reprinted. On page 13, split star in Blackfish row. Little Mix Insta-slam for Jessie. Jessie Nelson's split from Little Mix, taking a sour turn after the remaining members of the band unfollowed her online. Their Instagram snub came on the weekend. Jessie's debut single, Boys, was released. Former bandmates Perry Edwards, Leanne Pinnock, and Jay Thirlwell all appear to have removed her from their following tabs on the social media site. Even an account belonging to Perry's dog, Hatchie, has cut its links. Oh my god. It came as Jessie, 30, was accused of blackfishing in a new video when a white person uses black culture to further their career. That's not a very good definition of what it is. In the video for Boys, Jessie performs alongside Nicki Minaj and P. Diddy with tan skin and braided hair. Come on. Don't. Dan Jones, 3142. Why did Fury's trainer also take his top off in the conference, by the way? Literally no reason. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas unless it's repeated in the Sun. JG Thirlwell was in Little Mix, says Mark Kenosis. Not the dog. I know, unfollowed by the dog. Good afternoon, can you, 92. Thank you for resubscribing. That is much appreciated. And also thank you to Big Old Boy, who gifted a tier 1 sub to Julie Prunes a day ago. And to Gonzo Socialism for following the channel. Much appreciated. Hey, Red Tick Seed, how are you? On page 15, It's Cruel for Cat. Actress Katie McGlynn was the second celeb to be eliminated from Strictly. I'm a Celebrity bosses are enforcing a 2-week quarantine, apparently. Thank you, Red Tick Seed, for redeeming Hydrate. Much appreciated. Rob Beckett says... TV comic reveals how demons crashed in on his funny man facade. I had everything I ever wanted, but I wanted to die, he says. Thankfully, he seems to have got help there. Harry and Meg dodge UK tribute. Not to die, thank you. Snub widens rift is the claim. And apparently Prince Andrew has been banned from a banquet. Well, that's, I mean, now he's truly been punished. Ho-Yun Young, one of the stars of Squid Game, apparently is doing very well off of it. The headline on that star is Squid's in. Jesus. Only Fools and Horses characters are fashions icons at the forefront of trends, according to GQ. Oh, fuck off. Rob Beckett, Esther Ranson stunt double. That's the one. Emily Attack says, I get rape threats from dads. That was a story over the weekend in the press, but Monday's Sun often rehashes stuff from the weekend. Andrew isn't sweating the cops, says C122H122. Gary Barlow and Leona Lewis are doing a Christmas album. Have we not suffered enough? Afghans plea to Britain. There's a Bruce Lee lookalike is trying to get out of Afghanistan. Afghan actor Abbas Alizada, 28, says fanatics stabbed to death his training partner. He fears he's next. Could they perhaps have not given it such a humorous angle, given that he's fearing for his life? Nun 85 mugged for a bottle of holy water, apparently. Where was this? Very bad writing. I haven't said where it is. Hull. And the person who mugged her is called Matthew Goodwillie. So there you go. Humorous name, not humorous crime. Lennon broke up the Beatles, says Paul McCartney, now that he's certain that John Lennon definitely can't come back to correct him. Though if I were the Daily Express, I'd get a Ouija board and fix that. Will Gary be paying tax for the album, The Tory Bastard? Doubt it. Use of weapons. Jokes on you, Gary Barlow. There's not going to be electricity by Christmas to listen to your shite album. Yeah. Yes. Lennon broke up the Beatles. Right, here is what your steamy dreams mean. Hidden desires, your sleep reveals. Apparently, places in dreams represent particular situations in your waking life. Dreaming of sex in strange locations suggests that an unusual situation has arisen in your day-to-day life. Forbidden romps. If you dream of romping, the nun is okay. Very funny thing to mug a nun for you. If you dream of romping with someone or somewhere you shouldn't, it suggests you feel you're being prevented from developing a particular creative talent. Oh, God, this is boring. Harrison Ford has had a few knocks on set of latest Indiana Jones movie. Now he's seeing doubles. The actor, 79, is happy to pose with lookalike fans while shooting scenes in Sicily. In the goals supplement, thanks Pep. Southgate says that Pep Guardiola has made Phil Foden a better player. Exclusive. Family 7 generations in the army. Back to Waterloo. I mean, I don't know if it's exclusive. Some agency's written that up. Lennon did break up the Beatles. What is to be done? Cause such arguments in the recording studio that they split up. Ringo is an orthodox Marxist Leninist and defended crushing the Prague Spring, says use of weapons. Red Tixie dreamt that the whole bunch of people from left Twitter at a party last night. It was very nice. Who was there? C122, H122. Maybe old people shouldn't do stunts. Yeah, fact. Apparently Amanda Holden is doing a guest spot in Neighbours. Whoopie-doo. The Larkins, which is the reboot of Darling Buds of May, was on TV last night. They reviewed that. Paul Merson, Football, Gambling and Me is on BBC One at 9 p.m. tonight. Bling is on ITV at 2 p.m. Scenes from a Marriage, Sky Atlantic, 9 p.m. And Dispatches, Cops on Trial, Channel 4, 10 p.m. There's a double-page spread about the menopause. You could get this active utility puffer jacket, yours for just £20. Look at it. It's horrible. Basically, Dear Deirdre today can be summed up by a person in the room's slogan for it, which is, bin him, or her, or them. On page 50, on page 41, the £50 letter today comes from John Robson, who says, it beggars belief that those Insulate Britain morons have no conscience about obstructing paramedics racing to people's aid. Their leader, Roger Allam's claim that he would block an ambulance is just utter lunacy. We will not rid ourselves of these self-styled do-gooders until the government ups its game and allows the police to do their job properly, namely dragging these idiots away to face the music. Pointing like Dorothy. You were there, and you were there, and you were there. Bin Them needs to be a t-shirt, Mick merch. I would make merch if I thought people would buy it, but, you know, £20 for a jacket isn't bad. No, that's true. Good price for a jacket, ugly as shit. Looks like a knife crime jacket, yeah. Okay, here we go. Genuinely hideous thing you can get here. Game On, Darts Rose Gold Plated Men's Watch. You're limited to just 9,999 editions. Yours for £129.95. And what is it? Well, at the top, there's some darts. Rose gold plated and accented with darts. Darts. Not coins today, but darts. Right, anyway, horrendous. Brought to you by the people who do flog the coins. And on the back page in the Sport today, Coronation Street. Sensational Fury Eyes celebration fight in Manchester. Tyson Fury's sensational fight of the century. Aren't they all? Contender has earned him a hero's homecoming scrap in the UK. And there he is, looking like he does. I do like darts. I like darts, but I don't want a darts watch. Come on now. Right, that was the Sun. Give me your scores for the Sun. Did I buy the AC/DC watch? No, because person in the room would probably throw me out if I did that. And I like living here and, you know, like to keep her on side. Brown sauce. Mustard. Okay. Yeah, give me your scores for the Sun. And then I'm going to move on. Darts Watch's top tier estate agent pub bore clothing. 100%. 100%. That is the vibe. Right. We're going to move on to the Guardian, which I'm going to do in the speed round. High voltage, rock and roll, says Red Tixie. Minus 69 for the Sun from Lilith Myskeria. A standard, an excellent, a wonderful 0 from the ever reliable Jane Pickering. 69 darts, says Gonzo Socialism. Whoop-a-boo. Minus 69 darts, says Mark Kenosis. Minus 69 darts, says Gonzo Socialism. And minus 501, says Dan Jones. Excellent work. Okay, we are going to do the Guardian now. Darts Watch and Puffer Jacket. Yeah, buy those and you've got a look. It's a very sort of coherent look. Red Tixie gives the Sun minus 69, 42, 0, 69, and C122, H122 gives it a minus 180. Right, let's do The Guardian. It's The Guardian in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes. Here we go. Right. Front page of The Guardian. In the top left-hand corner, Alan Ruck talks about going from Ferris Bueller to Succession. Unfortunately, he has to do that with Hadley Freeman. In the top right-hand corner, Emma Bedlington learns to waltz like I'm trying to shoo a pigeon. Main story, NHS waiting list trigger tide of abuse against staff. There's Lucy Kirkwood talking about her new play. Kwasi Kwarteng and the Treasury are in a fight. And Sunak has saved billions by basically recycling aid for the poorest because he is a scumbag. On page 3, Holocaust exhibit, a humane glimpse into the drops of an ocean of blood, says Jonathan Friedland. France and UK funds row as 1,100 Channel migrants arrive in 2 days. Oppressive agreements, 4 years since Weinstein, but nothing has changed, writes Alexandra Topping, talking about to Zelda Perkins about NDAs. Life expectancy gap between rich and poor is a growing chasm. Well, The Guardian has done little to help with that. Packham promises to continue activism after arson attack. Catching flu and COVID at the same time doubles the risk of death. Well, there's cheery news. Head teacher of the strictest school in the UK put in charge of social mobility. That's Catherine Birbal Singh, for fuck's sake. Galactic Britain. Cornwall takes the lead in Europe's new space race. Joke. Pakistan mourns father of nuclear programme. Ecuador jail riot. Few answers for families of 119 murdered in their cells. Grim stuff. John Harris says on the face of it, politics in England is weird, almost delirious state. Yeah, why don't you go on a poverty safari again? What threat is worse than fuel shortages? The Tories know, says Nesreen Malik. Front page of G2 is Alan Ruck. Peter Capaldi says a new oil field would be a disaster. Stuart Lee says why I love the surrealist Ital Colquhoun. Corrections, clarifications, they misspelled someone's surname, and they called the rape of Lucretia the rape of Lucretius. In the obituaries, James Brokenshire and Walter Yetnikoff, former head of CBS. And in the sport, Ashes Dora Jarford Stokes, England Open talks with Talisman after revealing squad. That is The Guardian. There we go. Capaldi article wasn't that bad. Where does Alan Ruck keep his stuff? In his rucksack, says Red Tixie. That is better than any joke we've read in the Daily Mail in months. Birbal Singh, one of the thickest, cruelest public figures in Britain, a particularly thick, cruel country. Fact, she is fucking horrendous. Red Tixie, what's Alan Ruck's favourite music? Rock and roll. Love it. Right. Stuart Lee became a melt after Brexit, and his jokes are just Brexit bad. I don't know about. I don't necessarily agree with that. I still think he manages the odd decent joke, if I'm honest. But Birbal Singh, who confused Lord of the Flies with Lord of the Rings while understanding neither. Yep, that's the one. I cannot stand her. Right. Oh, why is the Times done that? We don't want to do that. Hang on. There we go. The Times, front page of the Times. Here we go. You can give me scores for The Guardian if you like, but it always seems a little unfair when I do it in the speed round. Times today. Yemas, meet the Brit on Greek Strictly. I'd rather not. And like Debbie does Dallas, but in this case, the country gets fucked. Salud, Boris does Marbella. No Rabs before Marbs. Main story, ministers clash over help for factories. Treasury says Kwarteng is making things up. I mean, it's never been a problem for Boris Johnson making things up. I just think making things up is it's a positive thing if you're in his cabinet. Gonzo Socialism says minus Steve Bell's if for The Guardian. Yeah. C122 H122 says Birbal Singh. I don't know who is that. If you don't know who she is, you don't want to know who she is. Alan Ruck's fave cartoon show, Rock Tales. Gonzo Socialism fave reality show, Rock Dynasty. Nice. Right, anyway, we've covered the front page. Oh, sorry, no, we haven't. The most disturbing and fucked up story, but I mean not surprising, is sex claims against 2,000 police officers. Inside, Treasury to count billions from IMF as aid for poor scumbags. Mothers tell of missed promotions in the police. Everlasting fame is tragically tricky. One more week of warmth, then usual service resumes. There should be no warmth. We're in October. Energy costs putting thousands of jobs at risk, ministers fear. £50 million upgrade for lorry parks to lure HGV drivers back. You told them to fuck off, so they fucked off. Now you want them back. It's not going to work. Beans means higher prices, says boss of Kraft Heinz. Do you remember when we were promised that there would be cheaper food prices after Brexit? And some fucking idiots believe that. Truss hits out at abuse of professor in trans dispute. This is, of course, the Kathleen Stock thing, which the papers are going to get a lot of mileage out of this week. 33-year-old becomes Britain's youngest granny. Her 17-year-old daughter has given birth. Fine. You know, I was in the papers yesterday. Again, papers rehashing stuff from the weekend. Scores of rogue officers are punished in secret hearings. Discipline behind closed doors and ignores transparency rules. Yeah, well, A, the transparency rules were they were a joke. Theresa May was pretending to make them transparent. And B, the government, Boris Johnson's advisor on ministerial standards had to quit because he just ignored a report showing that the Home Secretary is a repeated bully. So this stuff, like, transparency is a myth, really. There is no transparency. They only show us what they want to show us to get rid of people they want to get rid of at the time they want to get rid of them. Clarkson takes best in show for farmers. Apparently farmers love his show. I believe it when I see it. Let's talk about sex, says leading novelist. Authors should not be embarrassed for writing about sex, though they risk being pilloried by fellow writers. Two literary heavyweights have said. This is Sebastian Faulks and Jonathan Franzen, both speaking at the Cheltenham Literary Festival. You see a lot of stories about that this week, as the Times are sponsors of that. They will grind it up and make news sausage from it. More on Catherine Burble-Singh. Strictest head gets levelling up job. And of course they profile her, making her sound wonderful and not thick as shit. Mark Kenosis says, look, I will credit Alan Ruck's favourite Mick Wright Spotify playlist. Brittle, rockabilly and new wave stuff. I've just been listening to it. It's very good. Thank you. I'm glad I have many good Spotify playlists. Catherine Burble-Singh, she's bad. Yeah. Is 2,000 just how many cops they ask? That's the number YouGov hold. Mark Kenosis says, look, I will credit Kathleen Stock with providing me with the perfect illustration of what I call dipshit empiricism. C122, H122, 50 Shades of Grey is the highest selling book. Who is nervous about sex? Yeah, I mean, come on. Slave trade link, a problem for Nelson Village. Oh, God, more culture war bullshit. I definitely agree that bad sex awards type stuff has tipped over into pretty sad, sneering prudishness. I would agree with that too. Anti-vaxxers target home of BBC presenter Vine. It's fucked up. It was fucked up. The Times says, alas, Le Carrier's slim final novel is more footnote than masterpiece. I'm still going to read it. This tells you who the Times' audience is. It's got ads. It's been running ads in the past few weeks, almost every day for Rolex. Sewage analysis dishes the dirt on illegal river spills. Environment agencies failing to detect thousands of illegal spills of sewage into rivers, a report suggests. Yeah, but also it allowed the government really pushed recently to have to allow more deliberate releases into rivers. Fuck off. Dan Jones talking about Catherine Burble-Singh again says, imagine being a head teacher and hating kids that much. There must be easier ways to get profiles of dipshit. Mark Kenosis, okay for sex rating to be awkward, embarrassing. Sex can be awkward, embarrassing. Sex is inherently absurd. Yeah, but if you let yourself become aware of the absurdness of sex during sex, it's mentally undoable. Charles Charity Chief in the frame over funding. He's corrupt as hell. He's corrupt as hell. I'd love it if he'd sue me. Go on, sue me, fucker. Today's newsletter is about the column I'm just about to tell you about. Claire Foe just writes, and I couldn't even, this is beyond parody. Don't bet on a hard win to toppling Johnson. We have got used to a degree of chaos during the pandemic, and many secretly enjoy the chance to show some blitz spirit. Please read and share today's newsletter on this. I talk about the myth of the blitz spirit and how people like her absolutely love to pretend they have a hard time while being absolutely fine with people actually suffering. She can go fuck herself. Charles is bad. Andrew worse. Yeah. Mark Notice, can someone send me an AO3 invite so I can upload my Pretty Patel Catherine Purple Sing fanfic? Oh my. Heathmore 2401 says the best sex scenes acknowledge the inherent absurdity of sex. Yeah. Edward Lucas, stop the kleptocrats feasting at our expense. Is he writing about the Conservative Party? Apparently not. Libby Purvis says blinkered grandees gave Savile a free pass. Guarantee you there are Savile-like figures still getting an easy ride. Red Tixie, tough being a third-generation Blitz survivor. Gledster, don't bet on Johnson being toppled as long as us columnists are around to prevent it. Yeah, that's more like it. Today in the birthday, Sir Bobby Charlton is 84. Cardi B is 29. Seamus Coleman, the footballer, captain of Everton and Republic of Ireland, team member, is 33. Sir Andrew Cook, chairman of the William Cook Steel and Engineering Group, is 72. Austin Curry, the politician, co-founder of the Social Democratic and Labour Party, the only person elected to both Irish parliaments and to have served as minister in both, is 82. Joan Cusack, the actress, is 59. Gerard Damanin, the French politician and interior minister, is 39. Dawn French, the actress, is 64. Jean-Jacques Goldman, the French singer-songwriter, the highest-grossing French living pop singer, known for En Passant in 1997, is 70. Daryl Hall, lead vocalist from Hall & Oates, 75. Lord Toby Harris of Haringey, chairman of Labour Peers Group, Metropolitan Police Authority chair till 2004, 68. Tony Kinsey, jazz drummer and composer, 94. Alan Little, chairman of the Edinburgh International Book Festival and former BBC reporter, is 62. Andrew Logan, the sculptor, 76. Rodney Marsh, footballer for England till 1973, is 77. John Nettles, the actor from Bergerac, Midsummer Murders, etc., is 78. Sultan of Oman, Haitham bin Tariq, is 66. Alan Pascoe, the athlete, known for the 4x400 metre relay, Olympic silver medalist in that event in 1972, 74. David Rendell, the tenor, is 73. Michelle Wee, the golfer and winner of the US Women's Open in 2014, is 32. Lord Richard Wilson of Dinton, Master of Emmanuel College, Cambridge, 2002 to 2012, Secretary of the Cabinet, head of the Home Civil Service until 2002, is 79. In 1862, the Confederate Congress revised its U.S. Civil War conscription policy, exempting plantation owners with more than 20 slaves from military service. Wonder why they lost. In 1919, the first in-flight meals were served on a Handley Page transport flight from London to Paris. In 1982, the Mary Rose, the flagship of Henry VIII, was raised after 437 years at the bottom of the Solent. Quote of the day comes from Northrop Frye, Canadian writer, in Anatomy of Criticism, 1957. The pursuit of beauty is much more dangerous than the pursuit of truth or goodness because it affords a greater temptation to the ego. Kin92 says, where's the Broken Bottle Boy slash fit? That's what I'm asking. Red Tick Seat suggests slash flip between me and coins. Kin92, what's Alan Ruck's favourite sport? You might think it's croquet, but actually rugby because of all the rucks. Nice. Gonzo Socialism, it's monster rocking. Kin92, also on bad sex rating, anything read out at the moment is awful. Have you ever read back over sex, text, flirting with someone the next day? Post-nut clarity with nothing, has nothing on that. Yeah, agreed. Lord Richard Wilson is a different guy. I don't believe it. He is, and he's the only person really worth listening to in that Blair Brown documentary from the BBC because he just goes on about what an egotistical prick Blair was. The Times, of all people, writes a leader column about bent coppers. This is News International, which was absolutely up to its nuts in the Daniel Morgan case. In the world news, we will never bow to China, vows Taiwan president. US Navy couple held over atomic spying. A US Navy engineer and his wife have been charged with passing on secrets of America's nuclear submarines to a foreign power after the plot was uncovered by the FBI. I rarely believe that the FBI has actually uncovered a plot rather than just making it up themselves. Blair Brown doc is awful, says C122, H122. It is because there are virtually no critics in it. Literally, Lord Richard Wilson is one of the few people who says anything vaguely critical. There's far too much time given to Alistair Campbell and Peter Mandelson to justify themselves. Australian Chancellor forced out of office by bribery scandal. Oh, God, imagine someone being forced out of office for fucking up like that. Looks good but awful. Agreed to C122, H122. I agree with you. Czech president in intensive care after voters snub Prime Minister. Czech Republic's popular Prime Minister is losing his grip on power after suffering a surprise defeat. I don't know why they've said that in that headline, because it makes it sound like he's literally in intensive care. Iraqi voters cry out for electricity and jobs. Wow, sounds familiar. Retic Seed talking about the bad sex thing. Oh my god, totally. The stuff I've written to partners that I'll suddenly remember and die inside. Yeah, out of context. Peter Mandelson. You mean Jeffrey Boatfriend? Yes, I do. Yeah. Peter Mandelson belt who looked to Jeffrey Epstein for his assistance with belt selection. Abul Qadir Khan has died. He's the main obit today. Metallurgist known as father of Pakistan's nuclear weapons program, who passed secrets to Iran, Libya, and North Korea. Rick Jones, folk musician and presenter of Finger Bobs, the children's television classic, who was stoned before filming a play school nativity, where you'd have to be, wouldn't you? And the excellently named Bodge Patty. Bodge Patty. That is, once again, Bodge Patty, debonair and elegant American tennis player who received a £5 voucher for winning the 1950 men's singles championship at Wimbledon. Hello, Adrian Canosa. Thank you for watching from the Philippines. We review British newspapers here. Gonzo Socialism, does my bomb look big in this, Jeff? Kin92, oh yeah, I dug out some old chat logs from when I met my wife, 1819, thinking I'd do something cute as a present, like a book or something with her old messages, and then proceeded to cringe myself inside out and delete everything. Is that a real name? Yes, Bodge Patty. Bodge Patty. New from McDonald's, it's the Bodge Patty. And in the sport, Hamilton's fury at Mercedes and bad blood still boiling after Fury's emphatic win. Classy route convinced stars to tour is the report on the Ashes. And Varane scare for United. Defender is injured as France beat Spain to win Nations League. And Henry Winter says why Foden's evolution can help England take the next step. Give me your scores for the Times. I give it minus Bodge Patty out of 10. Bodge Patty. Red Tick Seed says Bodge Patty sounds like a cottagecore vegan meal. C122 H122 says budget patty sounds like bad chocolate. C122 H122 gives the Times like minus everything. Jane Pickering in with the classic 0. The classic Jane Pickering 0. Red Tick Seed gives the Times minus 69, the double negative nice, not enough Alan Rock. Mark Canosis just imagining a Jamaican patty but with chopped up budgerigar in it. Get yourself your bodge patty. Now we come to minus triple negative nice from Heathmore 2401 budge patties. Can't get over, but like. What's your name? Bodge Patty. Oh, fine. Yeah, good. Now we come to our last paper of the day. It is the Daily Mail. Mark Canosis rating the Times minus 69 cringe-worthy text. I'm glad in a way that the paper review today can be cathartic for us about our bad sexts. Right, here we go. Do you know what? I'm going to do the roll call before I start the Daily Mail. And who names their kid Bodge? Americans. I am the Broken Bottle Boy. You can follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. Also on TikTok at Useless Conquest. So Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy, TikTok at Useless Conquest. In the mod squad today is SK the Crusader calling in from the Work Factory. In the chat, Adrian Canosa calling in from the Philippines. Thank you for joining us. Another TT viewer, Aiton. Balata B-Boy is here. Hey, C122H122, a great contributor to the chat. chat. Chuck Hensey's here. Commander Root. Dan Jones 3142. Keeping track of my early morning tweeting. Dr. Fayad is here. Ehud Barak. Good to see you. Elysian. Yu-Gi-Oh! Always good to see you, Yu-Gi-Oh! As it is to see everybody loves Raymondo. Good contributions from Gledster and Gonzo Socialism today, as well as from Heathmore 2401. Nice to see you, Ice Wizards. Thank you for the Zero Queen, Jane Pickering, for gracing us with her presence. Catty Nar is here. Kinyu92, thank you. You've been great in the chat today, as you always are. Lacey Lux is here. Lilith Myskeria, good to see you. Mark Kenosis, of course, the king of the off-kilter, off-colour chat, and stream is never the same when he's not here. Red Tick Seed, an absolute stalwart of the chat as well. Rumastino, good to see you. Hello, Snur. Hello to Spike Trap Claire, to the Research Arena, our fine guest from Friday, who has a stream coming up with SK the Crusader later this week. The excellent use of weapons here. And last but never least, V and K. Thank you all for joining me on this Monday show, as I am very much sleep deprived. Markinosis, I think I'm so clever making up American names, then Budge Patty comes along and wipes it all away. Heathmore 2401, love an extra curse J.K. Rowling on the front page of the paper. Yeah, Budge is definitely a drinking name. Says Yu-Gi-Oh! Right, down. Brunt Murgle, Piss Windsock, Scrotum Hardler. What is sleep? Sleep, it's an abstract concept, isn't it? Right, on page 3 of... sorry, I haven't actually done the front page of the Daily Mail yet. What am I doing here? Front page of the Daily Mail, loads of shit about Christmas. Thank you, Pitchenstein, for following the channel. Main story, just a single GP for every 2,000 patients. No wonder it's so hard to see a doctor in person. And then there's an extract from J.K. Rowling's new book, which is magical and is about a bear or pig or something. Wait, you consider Sunday the end of the week and not the beginning of the week? Some people here consider Sunday the beginning of the week, but no. Generally, in the UK, it tends to be that for most people, Sunday is the end of the week, Monday's the start of the week. But yeah, it does vary. On page 3, Sabrina the News Eater. This bud may bloom into a TV darling. That is Christopher Stevens reviewing the Darling Buds of May reboot, The Larkins, and saying that Sabrina Bartlett, who plays the role of Mariette, is the one to watch, basically. Everybody gangster until Budge Patty turns up, says Kingy92. On page 4 of the Mail, 2,000 officers accused of sex offences in 4 years. The German police now saying they're 100% sure that the suspect that they have killed Madeleine McCann. Escape to the chateau from Middlesbrough. Fury at councillor's regular stays in France to do up £250,000 mansion. Jonathan Franzen says British people are prudish over sex scenes. I mean, he writes bad sex scenes. Unjabbed mums to be shocked. They make up 5th of most ill COVID patients, is the claim. More on the anti-vaxxers targeting Jeremy Vine's house. More on Strictly. More on the Treasury fighting Kwasi Kwarteng. Minister is forced to deny that putting on a jumper will be official guidance. Good, normal country. Brilliant. Heathmore 2401. I go with Monday as a start because I work Monday to Friday. That tends to be the case, doesn't it? Red Tick Seed. Guy who considers Thursday the start of the week. Oh, okay. Trans row professor fears she will need guards on campus. That's the Mail's framing of the stock thing. Boris and Carrie take a Marbella baby moon. Jesus, fuck off. Apparently, Boris Johnson's struggling to get takeaway food delivered to him in Downing Street. What a shame. Get vaxxed is the message. Agreed. Met police abandon Andrew inquiry. Yeah, because they were ever going to do anything about that. A vicar is facing trial for assaulting her ex-girlfriend. Of course, the Daily Mail has to describe her as a female vicar rather than, it being clear from context. You don't. You're just making up a guy to get mad at. There must be a guy who does that, though. I mean, if you work in a bar or music entertainment, it's quite possible. New guy just dropped, says Heathmore 2401. Top football game sets up children for a lifetime of gambling. This is some more scare stories over FIFA and £80 player packs. I do think they're bad. I also think the Daily Mail is bad. So, J.K. Rowling's Christmas cracker. Prepare to set out on a sparkling adventure in this exclusive extract from J.K. Rowling's new book, The Christmas Pig. I'm not reading that. Can't be bothered. On page 25. I mean, I don't mean the book itself. I also mean that extract there. The Roach is seen, and most British people are not prudish about sex. Queen Victoria is an outlier and should not be counted. And she was incredibly horny in a private way. Yeah, massively horny for Albert. C122, H122, FIFA gambling is awful. Yeah, agreed. And loot boxes and all of that kind of culture is fucked. Yeah, and on the weird horniness thing, right? People always look about to the past and think that people weren't horny then, but it's just because a lot of the materials that they wrote and did are not accessible to us. Look at James Joyce's letters to his wife, and you find he was a horny pig. Kin92 talking about horny pigs. The Christmas pig is me approximately 30 seconds into Christmas dinner, says Kin92. Red Tixie says horny for Prince Albert's Prince Albert. Yeah. Page 25. MasterChef star's book gets the chop in plagiarism row. Basically, it seems like she's nicked recipes from someone else's. Mark Knose is talking about Queen Victoria says German birds, pure filth. On pages 26 and 27, Michael McIntyre writes, oh, Jesus. He's Britain's most successful comic, but as he reveals in the second part of his uproarious memoir, sometimes the joke was on him. Did you hear the one about the night my toilet humour went down the pan at the BAFTAs? I couldn't give a shit. Kin92, fan favourite, Dr. Eleanor Janiger will set anyone straight about old-time horny people. Fact. Yu-Gi-Oh! Fuck off McIntyre. Exactly. Mark Gnosis, the Joyce letters are so sweet. They totally are. Core of London's gang murders linked to violent drill music is the claim from the Daily Mail. Oh, we're back on this one. Fuck off. McIntyre should fuck right off, says C122, H122. Yeah. October the 11th, 2021, on this day column. From the Daily Mail archive. On this day, October the 11th, 1949. Princess Elizabeth saw her racing colours carried to victory for the first time yesterday. From Moniveen, the Grand National Steeplechaser beat two rivals at the 300-pound Chichester Handicap Chase at Fortwell. Smiling delightedly, she exclaimed, "Well done," to jockey Tony Grantham. October the 11th, 2005, Angela Merkel is to become Germany's first woman chancellor after a power-sharing deal was struck between the main political parties. Yesterday's decision, 3 weeks after the deadlocked general election, means the woman dubbed Germany's Mrs. Thatcher won't be able to carry out many of her planned economic reforms. Happy birthday to Rodney Marsh, 77, the player turned pundit dubbed the Clown Prince of English football, played for West Ham, Fulham, QPR and Manchester City. His England career was cut short after a risque quip to manager Al Ramsey went down badly. His most memorable request from fans was to sign the knickers of the entire Tampa Bay Rowdies cheerleading team while they were wearing them. Dawn French, 64, the Welsh-born comedian, actress and novelist, says her spirit animal is a sloth. We don't do spirit animals. Asked what she'd be doing if she'd never met longtime comedy partner Jennifer Saunders, she admitted, "I'd probably be in jail." French has admitted feeling envious over Saunders' solo success with Ab Fab. Born on this day also in 1918, died 1998, Jerome Robbins, the US choreographer and director who worked on The King and I, Gypsy and Fiddler on the Roof. The son of a corset manufacturer, Robbins was such a hard taskmaster that one of his dancers said, "I wouldn't work with the man except his ballets are so good." He won 2 Oscars for West Side Story. Also born on this day, but in 1926, she died in 2016, Jean Alexander, the actress from Liverpool, played Hilda Ogden, the nosy, pinch-mouth tattletale of Coronation Street for 23 years. The headscarf and curlers wearing cleaner of the Rovers' return was once voted the 4th most popular woman in Britain after the Queen Mother, and Princess Diana. On October 11th, 1958, the BBC broadcast the first edition of Grandstand, became the world's longest-running live sports programme. In 2006, a Malawian confirmed US pop star Madonna had adopted his 1-year-old son, David Banda. Quote for the day, why didn't they name him? "It takes a lot of time to be a genius. You have to sit around so much doing nothing. Really doing nothing," says Gertrude Stein. 1874 and 1946, of course, US novelist. And joke of the day. "I was fired from the keyboard factory. I didn't put in enough shifts." C122, H122, Dawn French isn't a comic. Chronotherm October 11th is just spooky 9/11. A second pumpkin has hit the towers, says Chronotherm. Mark notes is apparently if you go to the British Library special porn collection reading room, there's a rule that you have to keep both hands above the desk at all times. Massive citation needed for the drill. Yeah, totally. Retic Seed about spooky 9/11. What if the Twin Towers were a ghost? Elizabeth McGovern is leaving the soft-spoken Countess, who she played in Downton Abbey, to one side to play Ava Gardner in a play, Ava, The Secret Conversations. Well, there you go. Don't be reeled in by the tech scam bait. From bogus Royal Mail parcel charges to unpaid tax threats, fraudsters plague us with fake messages. In the Inspire section, My Fiercely Feminine Guide to Power Dressing by Helena Morrissey. Oh, shut the fuck up. Would you spend £1,500 on clothes you've never seen? No. No is the answer. In the verdict, Foden's got the feel-good factor as the front page there. The magic jeans where one size fits six, basically just stretchy clothes. Dr. Max is awful. Can't stand Dr. Max. The curvy women storming the catwalk. Feels like we get this story every couple of years. There's some ugly trousers you can buy, available in brown, aubergine, light brown, olive red, and moss green. I've had to scroll back because Yu-Gi-Oh! Talking about the British Library Room. I read standing up coincidentally. They have one of those Chinese machines that sucks you off. The Twinkatron 5000 says use of weapons. Gonzo Socialism says that's a Henry Mark. Kin 92 only it's unethical. It's actually a low-paid worker controlling 12 of those robots. 1727 with their first chat, absolutely golden first chat here, dreading the day when the British Library finds out about teledildonics. Pick of the day, Paul Merson, football, gambling and me, 9pm BBC One. In the reviews today, Christopher Stevens, Weekend TV, Angela Black gets 2 stars. What is that? Don't know. And Tom Parker, Inside My Head, gets 5 stars. Right. No poems today, of course, because it is Monday, which is that we're thankful about. But in the cartoons, Garfield is asleep. In Chloe and Co, Chloe has sat down. Chloe and her friend have sat down drinking. Today they're drinking coffee. And her friend says to Chloe, as from today I'm on a strict diet. Chloe says, that's a shame. Elizabeth gave her a bag of her yummy chocolate brownies. And then her friend says, actually I meant tomorrow. And in Fred Bassett is just a full picture of him. Full frame picture of him, and he said, I thought I would fill you in with the big picture today. Very funny, Fred. We love you. Paul Mercer's story is sad. It is sad. He's just trapped, really, by that addiction. Right, the straight to the point letters. Elaine Wills writes, I wish cyclists would look where they're going instead of going where they're looking. Alan McDean says, I'll be over the moon when Pretty insulates Britain from the Insulate Britain mob. Simon Broad says, are there any French people doing up a chateau? Gerald A. Norden, real name, from Knutsford, says, a higher wage for some will be a P45 for others. M. Southern says, has a public inquiry ever changed anything? No. They should, but they don't. Hathmore 2401 talking about what the British Library will have to do when teledildonics comes in. Says they'll have to put one of those airport scanners in the entrance to the porn room. Chronotherm spots the logic fail in that cycling ladder. But if they're going where they're looking when they're going. C122H122, why do the point letters sound like a racist WhatsApp group? You've answered your own question. And finally in those letters, Paul Haslam writes, can I fit into the clothes I wore at 21? Yes, my socks, but I can't bend down to put them on. They're very angry about the French and passports and all that kind of thing. Today's letter is a roasted pepper, tomato, and tahini pasta. I mean, it looks fine. Various adverts for cruises and seats and hearing aids and more cruises. And in the sport today, had a brief Paul Merton confusion there, very different. Oh no, not Lafranche. On the back page, I am the greatest, Fury's bold claim after stunning Wilder win. Bruce on the brink. Steve Bruce will be sacked as Newcastle manager this week. Give me your scores for the Daily Mail. For me, it's a triple negative nice. -69, -69, -69. No animal story certificate. The Neon Lady, hello. Oh, fuck, not J.K. Rowling. Hello, the Neon Lady. You've just arrived just as I'm finishing the show, but do not worry, because it'll be up on VOD imminently, and then it'll be on YouTube, so do catch it on YouTube. I always appreciate when you chuck a comment on there. Jane Pickering gives it a 0. Just going to quickly do one last roll call, then do the links, and that'll be the show. I am the Broken Bottle Boy. Follow me on Twitter. Go to Twitter and look at SK the Crusaders account to see what he's streaming this week. He is doing, I know for sure, a stream with the Research Arena, which I will be trying my best to tune into. Thank you to Adrian Carnoza for tuning in for the first time from the Philippines. Much appreciated. Another TT viewer. Always good to see you. Also in the chat today, Aiton, Balata Boy, C122, H122, Char Kenzie, Chris McRae, Commander Root, Crawfish, Dr. Fayad, Urabs, Ehud Barak, Elysian, Yu-Gi-Oh! Everybody loves Raymondo, Gledster, Gonzo Socialism, Heathmore 2401, Ice Wizards, Jane Pickering, Katinar, Kin92, Chronotherm, Lacey Lux, Lilith Myscaria, Lily Red Wolf, Mark Canosis, Red Tickseed, Richard, Anthony Morris, Rimastino, 1727, Snur, Spike Trap Claire, The Research Arena, Use of Weapons, and V and K. You are all fantastic, and thank you for joining me. Today's chat has been excellent. Great stream as always, says Red Tixie. Keep on rucking in the free world. I have got many rucks to give today. C122, H122 gives the Daily Mail 1, 2, 3, 4, a 6 tuple negative nice. Needed an animal story. Thank you, Kin92. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, if you're not yet a subscriber to the newsletter, you can subscribe for free, and then if you like it, upgrade to paid. And if you've enjoyed this show and you want to help support me, but you don't want to subscribe on Twitch for whatever reason, do chuck some coins into the paper fund. A brief, late in the show appearance there by a person in the room who has been to Asda.
Who the hell?
Yeah. I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you've been watching this on YouTube, do tune in live any weekday at 1 p.m. on Twitch. And if you're watching it on YouTube, do like, subscribe, and comment. All of that good stuff. Person in the room, says everyone, as the show comes to an end. Bye-bye. Person in the room in the pocket of Big Asda, says Use of Weapons. Bye all. See you tomorrow.